Hey guys, welcome to the Living in Augusta, Georgia channel. I'm Gerilyn Laurentys with the Front Gate Group, and we are going to get into the top 5 reasons why I moved to the Augusta area. And some of these reasons you might relate to. Not only am I going to talk about the reasons I moved to the Augusta area, but also the places that I moved around in the Augusta area and why my husband followed me around the Augusta area. He was born and raised here, and he stayed because he really likes it here too. So we're gonna get into it right now. Reason number 1 that I moved to the Augusta area is for school. So I had been going to school at Columbus State University in Columbus, Georgia. I had moved there from Maryland, from Bowie, Maryland. And my dad was stationed at Fort Gordon. He's not military, but he worked for the Department of Defense. And so I decided that living in Columbus by myself and paying all of my bills really stunk. And I wanted to save some money, so I moved to Augusta, Georgia, because that's where my parents were. They actually lived in Martinez, outside of Augusta, Georgia. Here I am at Augusta University, and this is where I transferred to and finished out my schooling. And Augusta University has several different programs. I majored in Spanish, and Columbus State University did not have a Spanish major program, which is the other reason why I moved here. I just really liked it here. My parents live here. They still live here today in the Augusta area. My dad's retired from the Department of Defense, and so is my mom. And we've just really enjoyed this area. I've been here for over 20 years. And then I met my husband shortly after. Well, actually, I think I met my husband while I was still in college, but anyway, regardless, we got married after I was out of college, and we'll talk about where we ended up buying a house together, actually in Augusta, on the reason number 2 why we moved to Augusta. The second reason was while I was in college, I wanted to be closer to nightlife. So I moved out of my parents' house and I moved over into North Augusta, South Carolina, which is right over the border and very, very close to downtown Augusta, where there were bars and clubs, because I love to go dancing and I enjoy drinking beverages with my friends. Guinness is my favorite. And so, of course, in North Augusta, we have the SRP baseball park where we have the Green Jackets play baseball. And then behind me, that's the stadium, but there are also little shops and restaurants over here that you can easily get to. So that was another reason why I moved to the Augusta area, and specifically over into North Augusta was just the proximity to nightlife and downtown Augusta. And it was also very close to the college where I was going that you guys saw in the last little video clip. Okay, now we're going to talk about my number 3 reason for moving to the Augusta area. So I actually moved from North Augusta into Augusta after I met my husband. We bought our first house together in Augusta. And the reason that we moved to Augusta versus him just moving to North Augusta was because in Augusta, we were really close to our works. So I was like 5 minutes from work and he was maybe 10 minutes from work. And it was a great location. We were walking distance from the National Golf Course, the Masters Golf Tournament, and also walking distance to a little shopping center called Surrey Center. At the time, they had a little dog treat store where they baked fresh dog treats every day, and we would walk our dogs down there and get them treats. So that was kind of a fun little thing to do. I don't think that dog treat store is still there, but there are several local restaurants and some really neat little independent shops over in Surrey Center. So it's a neat little area to be in. We were also close to downtown, which we really enjoyed because we had lots of friends that we like to go downtown and hang out at bars and have some beers. I love to go dancing. My husband, not so much, but he was a sport and he would tag along anyway. And then we were still also close to North Augusta if we wanted to pop over there and enjoy their little downtown area. We absolutely could. So now I'm going to click over to Google Earth, and that way you guys can see where I was, where we lived, and how close it was to the National Golf Course. Let's see here. So we've got that. Here we go. So you can see. Whew, there it goes. This was our old house here. And I'm gonna scooch over here so that you guys can see how close we were to the National Golf Course. Let me zoom out a little bit. It's a pretty cool place that not many people get to see, but Google Earth, yay, thank you so much for doing that so that we could see it. And then I was going to show you where Surrey Center is. And so this right here is Surrey Center, and it was close enough for us to walk to, which we really enjoyed doing. Okay. Oh, I went too far. And there we go. So this is where we were. And in this area over here, there are a lot of older homes that, you know, some people have updated and remodeled, but you can definitely still find an older home that has not been updated or remodeled. And by older, I mean like 70s, some of them are 60s, some of them are 80s. Some people have purchased the properties and raised the homes and built brand new homes over there. There's some really pretty houses in this area. So that was reason number 3 why my husband and I moved to the Augusta area. Reason number 4 why we moved to the Augusta area. So we left Augusta and we moved to the outskirts of Augusta. We moved to Grovetown. And the reason that we moved to Grovetown is because we found a neighborhood where they were building new houses, and we decided we wanted to build a new house. We were gonna have a baby and we wanted to be in Grovetown, a little bit further out from Augusta. So we built a house, we moved into a neighborhood with an HOA, which we thought we would really enjoy. And we did for a while. We were in that house for a couple of years, and then we actually moved to another section in the same neighborhood and built a second house. My husband drew house plans at that time, and so he had drawn the first house that we built, and then when we lived in it, we were like, we would change this. And so when we built the second house in the same neighborhood, we made those tweaks and moved into the second house. My first son was 6 months old when we moved to the second house, and then I didn't have my second son yet. And we built a house where we had a community pond behind us. We had the walking trails right next to us. There's a community pool in that neighborhood. And once my children got a little bit older, we taught them how to swim. We would go to the neighborhood pool every summer when it was open. We really enjoyed it. We ended up staying in that neighborhood for about 13 years. And then the traffic just started getting really bad. They were doing road construction, and they had built a lot of new neighborhoods in the Grovetown area, which just added to the traffic, and they had not put in the infrastructure to help with the easing the traffic of all of those people moving into the Grovetown area. So we also found that HOA was not all it was cracked up to be. It changed hands and was in a management company that we just really didn't care for. And they sent us, we call them dutygrams. And we got a dutygram because one of the front bushes in our house started having some brown, and they told us that the whole bush was dead and that we needed to replace it. And so it really made me mad. And I just ripped all of the front bushes out of the front of my house and left it completely bare until we went to sell it. I know that's silly, but whatever. I don't like being told what to do. And so I realized that an HOA neighborhood is just not for me. So we're gonna get into the next reason why we moved to the Augusta area, and I'll tell you where we moved from Grovetown. So we'll get into that right now. Reason number 5 that we moved to the Augusta area. So we actually moved from Grovetown over to Martinez. And we moved to Martinez because we found that we were able to get a smaller house. We downsized, and we had a larger lot. So we were on half an acre. Really enjoyed the space. Also, no HOA. We were not in a neighborhood. The half an acre gave us the space to allow our dogs to run and get their energy out, which we really appreciated. It got our children out of the house a little bit more because the boys, they need outside play. And if I had girls, I'd make them run outside too. So I'm not saying that just because they're boys, but that's just what I have. So there we go. And it was closer to the school zone that we wanted to be in. It also was very close to I-20, so we could hop on I-20 if we wanted to take a trip to Atlanta, if we were traveling and needed to get to the airport, or if we wanted to take a trip up to Charleston. It was super easy to hop on I-20 and get to where we wanted to go. We're also close to Augusta, so if we wanted to go downtown and enjoy a date night at a restaurant downtown, then we could do that. And that's just one of the reasons why we moved to Martinez. So as you can see, I have lived all over the Augusta area, and at different stages of my life, different parts of Augusta worked better for me than other parts of Augusta. And I know in the last clip I talked about Martinez. We actually just recently moved out of Martinez and into Evans. And so we're in an older section of Evans. We're in an older neighborhood. Our house was built in the 70s. And it was a one-owner home, so when we walked in, it was like walking into 1978 or whatever year it was built, and or maybe it was 1976 actually, whatever, either way, with green shag carpet and everything. So we actually tackled that project. We did a complete renovation. We completed phase 1. Soon we'll get to phase 2, which is redoing the kitchen, but we had to get it livable where we could move in. We replaced all the floors. We've got hardwood floors down, and opened up the kitchen to the living room to make it feel a lot bigger, and added a bedroom. Anyway, so that's one of the things that we've done over in Evans, and that's where we are now. From the video, you can see that I've lived all over the area. I can tell you good and great places to be depending on what, where your work is. I can give you an idea of where you might want to live to have proximity to work, or if you really enjoy outdoor life, then I can suggest an area for that. If you really want an HOA, I know the neighborhoods that have HOAs that are great. And also, if you want new construction, we have that. If you would rather tackle a renovation project, I can help you find a home for that. So all of that to say that if this video was helpful to you and you enjoyed the content, please like and subscribe to my channel, the Living in Augusta channel. I'm Gerilyn Laurentys with the Front Gate Group, and I love getting calls and text messages and emails from you guys, or even comments just on the videos themselves, letting me know what you like, what you dislike. And if you're thinking about moving to the Augusta area, I would love for you to reach out to me so we can have a chat. Remember, we've got your back when moving to Augusta, Georgia.